He's Derek. She's Romaine. This is Derek and Romaine.
2.0, bitches!
It's a jungle out there.
It sure
and
is,
also,
Derek.
apparently in here. Derek Hartley along with Romaine Patterson. Thanks so much for being with us for another exciting Derek and Romaine
Thrilling,
show.
even.
Yeah, we are totally thrilling, and I'm glad that this is Thriller. But joining us in today's show, we have our returning champ, comedian Zach Zimmerman. He put out a new book earlier this year, did very well for him, and he has been touring all across the country doing stand-up comedy. He has some upcoming dates that we will be talking about, and we recorded before he went to Disneyland. He was there for Gay Days Anaheim back in September, and I'm sure he had a great time.
Well, I had some friends who were there at the Gay Days this year, and I heard very good things about Gay Days this year. So I'm guessing he had a great time, too.
And Frank DeCaro and Jim Colucci were there. And I think Dennis Hensley did a mismatch game down there.
I believe he did. Yes.
There was a lot of Derek and Romaine people who were there, except for Derek and Romaine, who were not in attendance.
Well, these things happen.
Look.
We had other things to do.
We, this is a traveling show here, Derek and Romaine. But in fairness, we've always been a show on the road because, like very early on, the first we launched in April of 2003, which was, let me check my math, 10 years ago.
What?
I know. So when we launched, though, we immediately went to a bunch of Pride events.
Yeah.
And to promote the channel and the network, which was brand new, and people did not know what it was or how it worked or how to listen. And so we've been on the road since the two of us came together.
Yeah.
And we joined our unholy alliance in a car ride to Connecticut. Quite famously.
Oh, yes.
And we have not looked back since. But we've spent a lot of time on the road, and we do our listener cruises now, and we do theme park events and everything. And we've been to Gay Days Anaheim many, many times, doing live shows there and hanging out and riding rides. So I love it. I think that traveling is one of my favorite parts of what we do.
I agree. It's funny. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine about as Iris and I get older, how traveling has become more of a priority for me, and how I have come to realize what a valuable and an enlightening experience traveling can be for a person. And I've really come to love our DNR trips and the places we've gone and the things we've gotten to see, and getting to share those experiences with listeners and with friends and family. I mean, it really is something I have truly come to appreciate in my life.
And I have traveled quite a bit more than Romaine has. So I have, and I know Romaine pretty well at this point. A little bit.
Yeah.
You could say I know you a little. And so I have tried to pick places that I have been that I think that Romaine will also like. And I have to say, I've done a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah. No, you definitely have. I mean, I think about all the times you kept telling me I should go to New Orleans. And then I went to New Orleans, and I was like, oh, my God, why have I not been here before? Like, it's so great. So
I know. It's just like Orleans Square at Disneyland, but filthy.
Yeah. Yeah. But also like Hawaii. I absolutely loved Hawaii. Even going to Europe and different places we've been to in Europe. I mean, yeah, there's definitely been some great experiences built into some of the travel that we've done.
Yeah, the thing about Europe that was a revelation for me before I had been was I thought it was far, and I thought it would be difficult because, as you know, I took 2 years of high school German, which I forgot every last word of the second I walked out of that class.
Right.
And so I thought, well, I barely speak English, and this is going to be a long flight. And, I had a lot of reservations about going. What happens if I get lost? All those kinds of things.
No, I think those are fair.
Yeah. And the first time I went with my friend Eric, and he's a more adventurous person than I am. And so we went together, and I had a blast. And it was much closer than I thought. Like, living in New York, the flight to London or Paris is only slightly longer than going to Los Angeles. It's actually more on par with flying from New York to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, well, I don't think, it's too far to go to Seattle or Portland. Why would I think it's too far to go to Paris?
Right.
And even though, I don't speak any foreign languages, and as longtime listeners of the show know, I not even that great in the native English language, I have found it actually much easier to navigate than I thought. Although I think my next hurdle will be driving in Europe, which I've never done. And
that sounds terrifying to me.
Well, I have to be honest, I'm a little afraid, because it's one thing if you can't read a street sign while you're standing on a street.
Right.
Because you can use Google Translate on your phone, and you can ask somebody, Americano, help, Americano. You can, eventually somebody will take pity on you. Because most people in Europe are fairly multilingual.
Right.
And eventually they'll see you. They know you're an American, and you're sad, and eventually they will help you. Unlike in the United States, where if somebody does not speak English, they are shit out of luck trying to find somebody who speaks whatever the language is. And I get stopped all the time in New York City by tourists because I have a retail face.
Mm-hmm.
Where I previously worked in retail when I was younger. So now, like, when I go to stores, people are like, do you work here? And so it's the same thing in New York City. People think I'm the information desk in New York, and then they ask me things. You have a retail face. Can you tell me how to get to Brooklyn from here?
Is that what they say before they say, can you tell me how to get to Brooklyn? Oh, you have a retail
No, I mean, usually
face.
They're like, oh, madam, you're younger and prettier every day. They butter me up, and then they ask me for directions.
Gotcha.
But I do get asked for directions a lot, and I guess I seem more approachable to strangers than I am in real life. But
yeah, if they only knew.
Yeah, but if I go to Europe, I'm not shy about asking somebody for some help and pleading dumb American in order to get some help. But when you're driving a car, if you can't read the signs, you can make a wrong turn. You could end up in, I don't know, you could be heading for Germany and end up in Azerbaijan. I mean, I have no idea.
That's crazy.
That's how good I am at geography.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know.
Right. So this is the thing that I am the most worried about. But for the most part, it's pretty easy to get around. In Europe, they have a lot of trains. And it's really easy to get places. I know that you had problems on the train in Paris, but...
Oh, yeah, no, just they almost tried to kill us, but that's fine.
Oh, whatever. They were having a heat wave, and the train broke down.
And then we all almost died. No, it's fine.
And yet, you're all still alive.
Barely.
So...
Just saying.
I've never had the problems that you have.
I didn't anticipate having the problems that I had.
I didn't ask for the anal probe.
I sure didn't.
No. Anyway, I just think that people, especially for something that you feel might be out of your comfort zone, actually, I think Europe is much easier to get around and engage with, and it's super easy. And we've now done 2 group cruises in Europe, and I think that a cruise is actually, if you haven't been to Europe before, a cruise is a great way to sort of get a taste.
Yeah, because I mean, like the cruise that we're currently on, it stops in,
or just came back from,
or that it basically stops in 10 locations, 10 different ports at 10. Or is it 10? No, it's not. It's like 7 or 8, actually. There's 10 days, but it's 7 or 8
It's a 10-day
ports.
cruise. I
Yeah.
think we have
I think it was
8
7 or
ports,
8
yeah.
ports. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Anyway, it's a lot. And every time you stop, you're like Derek said, you have an opportunity to get off the ship and kind of experience a little bit of the local, flair of what's going on. But you could also, in like some of the ports, you can go to the big touristy destinations, right? Like,
How big is it?
if you're in Florence, you might want to go see Michelangelo's David or, some of the other different big things. But you go and you do some days you do the big stuff. Some days you do the little stuff. And it is a really, like for me, one of my favorite destinations on both the European trips that we've done. I've gone to the same place because I enjoyed it so much the first time I wanted to go back. And it was Positano, which is this quaint little town built into the side of a cliff. And it's such a beautiful town, and the views are stunning, and the food there is incredible. And you really, truly get, it's like you're in a whole other world, really. You're definitely in a very different culture and experience from what you're used to. And it's just great. It's like a breath of fresh air to see and experience something so different than the norm that you're used to in your day-to-day life. And that's what makes it so lovely. I mean, just absolutely lovely. So, that is the nice thing about travel is you really do get an opportunity to see and experience new things. And I've come to really just appreciate it so much. I really have. I love it.
I became friends on the very first cruise that I did in Europe. I did an RSVP cruise in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was on the cruise, I met a fashion designer named Charlie Lapson, and his fashion company is Positano because he also went there and loved it and was like, this is what I'm going to name my fashion label.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know. He kept trying to put me in fashion, and as Romaine can tell you, the more fashionably I dress, the more ridiculous I look.
Absolutely.
Like
This is absolutely
Adina
true.
Monsoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can wear a suit or a tuxedo and look fine. Like I think I can dress up nicely as long as it is a, plain suit or tux, right?
Right.
It's like a very traditional suit or tux. I think I can pull it off quite handsomely. But anything that smacks of fashion, I look ridiculous.
Yeah, you could never dress like, say, Jonathan Valdez, who's always pushing the edge of fashion.
No, and I don't understand. Our listeners are always trying to get me into whatever, a caftan or some crazy. Like, I'm only going to look insane, but I think they want me to look insane. I think that is the appeal.
They want you to look crazy?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
They want my outside to look like my inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But, I mean, honestly, you look fine, Derek. I like the way you dress, mostly.
Mostly
Mostly
Look,
because it's a lot like the way I dress.
Well, the nice thing is that fashion has come around to me. I'm normcore to the core, and the world has become more casual, more shorts and T-shirts and sweatshirts over time. And so for me, that has been helpful because the rest of the world has moved closer to what I wear on a regular basis. So now I look a bit more like I'm fitting in.
Yes,
than I
do.
did before.
Yes, you do.
But when they just had, recently they had the Fashion Week in New York and around the world and everything.
Yeah.
And that the bagginess, like baggy clothes, are back.
How baggy?
They're more 80s styles, but 90s baggy.
Okay. That's interesting. I prefer a little bit of baggier clothes. Like, I like the jeans, the skinny jeans. I fucking hated skinny jeans. I hated them so much. I found them so uncomfortable. Like those tight fitting, I just hated everything about those.
Why didn't you want everyone to see your pussy lips? What is that?
Because, ew, gross. No. So I'm okay with a little bit of bag, but I don't want it to be like stupid baggy. Like, it doesn't need to look like something Sam Smith would wear. You know what I'm saying?
They do enjoy a stop making sense shapeless suit. And, but some people want to be that comfortable. And
I'm
if
all for
that's-
comfort, Derek. You know I am.
Yes.
I have adopted the sweatpants as my new staple item in my wardrobe.
Every season is gray sweatpants season at Romaine's house.
Fuck yeah. I love a sweatpant. I love a good sweatpant. I now shop for good sweatpants. Like, I don't want just any ordinary shit sweatpant. I want some good sweatpants. Good, comfy ones.
What are your high-end sweatpants?
Okay, so my favorite sweatpant at the moment is by the brand Life is Good. Life is Good was, it's primarily a T-shirt brand, but they make some hoodies, and they've branched off into some sweatpants too. But they just make super soft, high quality, just comfort clothes. And I love it.
Well,
and their designs aren't insane. Like they're all about the comfort.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
First of all, I don't spend a lot of time following fashion, but recently, we were shut down for a long time. Then finally people are out and about, whatever. And straight men and gay guys were embracing shorter shorts, like a tennis short.
Yes.
And they were also embracing the return of the crop top.
Yes.
And I got to be honest, I was so excited about seeing hot guys in tennis shorts and a crop top.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? We've decided everyone's going to be wearing tents now. I was like, what? But we finally got to see slivers of hot bodies here and there. And now all of a sudden everyone is in fashion by Coleman.
Well, they didn't want you getting too excited, Derek. I think that was the thing. They had to keep your expectations in check.
Look, that's the one kind of inflation I think we can all agree is good. Oh, anyway. But the good news is, since I never follow fashion, it doesn't much matter to me. And I guess if we are wearing baggier things, at least I don't have to worry if I put on some more, weight.
Yeah.
But
I've never been one who felt comfortable taking fashion risks. Like when I look at I use Jonathan as an example. Jonathan Valdez from OJ&B, the podcast. One of my favorite things about him is he really is comfortable taking fashion risks. I mean, I am amazed at some of the clothes that he wears out to events and to places he goes. He puts together these crazy outfits, and yet he pulls them off. And I don't know how he does it. I really don't. Like, he styles some really wild stuff together that I never would, like, he wears these shorts with these tall socks, and then he'll wear, like, a long jacket, and I'll be like, what the fuck is going on with that outfit? And yet it looks really good on him. I don't know how he does it. I could never take those kind of risks. I would be too scared of looking like an idiot. But he doesn't care. He wears it anyway. And he never looks like an idiot.
Well, different people can look great in different things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the secret to looking good is feeling good in what you're wearing.
I agree with that.
And I always feel uncomfortable in sort of fashion-y things. And I think that it shows. I think that what people are reacting to is my own discomfort in what I'm wearing. And so it's very hard to project hotness and confidence when you're it's itchy and you're miserable, or you're all bunched up and you got a wedgie, whatever. It's not fun.
Right. I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
And especially with all the travel that we do. I mean, people basically now show up at airports in their pajamas.
Ugh, as they should. I used to like dress normally for flights, jeans, t-shirt, whatever. Not anymore, man. Now I'm going to be practically in my pajamas because I've discovered it is so much more comfortable when you are in comfortable clothes.
Well, it would be fine if they didn't make the seats so uncomfortable,
Right.
but they put you in a stress position. And so what? Now you're supposed to wear a suit? and be bunched into a seat that you can't fit in?
Fuck that.
Again, no.
No. I want my sweatpants. I want, if I could take off my bra, I would. But I can't. That would be inappropriate.
Also, I don't know how you could contain your breasts in your seat that you are assigned to.
You couldn't. You wouldn't be
They
able
would just
to.
be flopping into.
Yeah, they'd be flying all over the place.
Ma'am.
Turbulence would hit. I get knocked out.
Ding.
Yeah.
Ma'am, your breasts are in row 22 and you are seated in row 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please.
That's exactly what would happen.
Holster your breasts for landing.
Yeah. It wouldn't be good. Would not be good. But if I could, I would not wear a bra. But I cannot. I have to at least have some dignity on a plane. But I don't want to have any, honestly. If I could, I would have none.
We already have so little dignity, Romaine.
I know.
Just a shred. Can we just pack a shred? I know I like to pack light, but can we just pack one shred of a dignity around here?
I know. You're not wrong, Derek. You're not wrong. Not wrong. But no, I'm all about comfort. I think comfort is super duper important. And even and now comfort extends in areas that I never thought of before. Right? So underwear. My underwear have got to be comfortable.
How uncomfortable was your old underwear?
I mean, when I was younger, I used to wear thongs and all kinds of cute little underwear. And then I'm like, this isn't comfortable. So now I've embraced super comfortable underwear. Now, I'm not saying.
Is it granny panties?
No. God, no.
Is it maternity pants?
No. I have now moved on to a style of underwear called the boy short, which I actually have really come to like. It's a little more of a full coverage underwear, but it's cute in the way that it looks on your body, right? It doesn't look ugly. It still can be cute. Versus granny panties, which, oh, Lord help us. Those are the fucking worst. So you can have comfort and still be stylish and cute. Same thing with my socks. I used to just wear the 6-pack of Hanes that you pick up at the Target. Not anymore. Now I'm all about good quality comfort socks. Me and my Bombas, I'll never go home without them. They are the best fucking socks I've ever owned in my entire life. I fucking love them. The only sock that is second to my Bombas are my D&R socks, the ones that we had made for the crates a couple years back. Those are also Excelente socks that I love, 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 and I wear those often. But I'm telling you, me and my Bombas, nothing's getting between me and my Bombas. They're the fucking best. Romy tries to steal my Bombas, and I slap her. Do not touch my socks. Those are mine. So I'm all about the comfort.
You and your daughter can share clothes.
Oh my God. She steals my clothes all the time.
Your clothes?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because as you said just a minute ago, baggy is in. So right. Romy will climb into my closet, go through my shit, find something she likes, and steals it. I had this pair of linen shorts that I bought for summertime. And she fucking stole them. And they look gargantuan on her. Because, I'm large and she's not. And they look so stupid on her, but she fucking loves them. They're her favorite fucking shorts. And they're mine. My large fat ass shorts. And she basically runs a rope through all the belt loops and ties it onto her body and wears them all the time.
But Paul Rudnick said that linen is God's curse.
Well, this is what she loves.
I mean, you look at it and it wrinkles.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, she loves them. Loves them. Thinks they are the greatest shorts ever. They're so comfortable and they're baggy. She wears them out in public. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Being baggy.
Oh, stupid.
Hey, bag.
But she does this to me. She does it to Iris. She's always in our closets. But the big thing she always steals from me is my socks. She basically has stolen all of my socks.
Iris is so much shorter than she is. What is she possibly taking from Iris's closet?
But Iris is closer in size to the clothes that Romy wears. So Romy has stolen jeans from Iris, which is funny because Romy's so tall. And then she'll steal cute little athletic shorts and things like that. She'll steal from Iris, or she'll steal really cool T-shirts from Iris. She steals a lot of shit from Iris, actually.
Yeah, but a T-shirt is going to be a crop top on her.
No.
Because your short wife?
Iris wears a large T-shirt, and Romy usually wears a large T-shirt. So she just steals her T-shirts. They're fine. It's ridiculous. I'm telling you, kids are monsters. They steal from you. They're a pain in the ass. Yeah. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is why I like my life. Nobody's trying to steal my clothes because nobody wants them.
I honestly thought there would be no need for either Romy or Iris to steal my clothes because I'm so much bigger than both of them. But does that stop them? Nope. Not even a little bit.
Tragic.
It is tragic. I'm like,
Your
this
life
is my
continues
shit.
to be terrible at home. No wonder you're always trying to get away.
That's right. I can't wait to take a trip and get the hell away from everybody, frankly. Where are we going next? I'm ready to go already. Is it time?
Well, you know, we're going back to New Orleans, one of your favorite places.
I'm excited about that. I am excited. Yeah. I can't wait to spend some more time in New Orleans. And I actually really like sailing out of New Orleans because you kind of go down that really cool river, and it's different. It's cool. It's, you know, it's a unique sailing, I think.
Mississippi.
Is that what river we sail down? I don't remember. I just know it was a really cool river. Might be. Is it the Mississippi? It probably is because it's so big, right? You're laughing at me. I can feel it. You're laughing at me.
I'm not laughing.
Right, you're like, she's so stupid. She doesn't know her geography.
Well, I mean, there are other rivers there, but New Orleans is at the mouth of the Mississippi River.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew it was in that area generally. I didn't know it was at New Orleans.
Where did you think the Mississippi River comes out? Why did you think New Orleans was where it is?
I mean, I guess it does make sense that it's there. I would have said I thought it was around Arkansas, but I don't know why I think that.
Arkansas?
Doesn't it come down through like Arkansas and like by Georgia and Louisiana? Am I making that up? Doesn't it go down along Arkansas?
It does.
And it goes down, and then it gets Louisiana/Georgia area. Somewhere down in there is where I thought it came out.
But
I didn't know it was specifically Louisiana.
Is Arkansas on
New
the
Orleans.
coast?
No, it's not on the coast. It's on the way down. I'm trying to trace it in my mind. You know what? Don't be an asshole. If I had a map, I would look at it and be like, it goes like right down. I could draw it on. If I got a blank United States map, I think I could draw where about where I thought it went from and down to. But I don't know how accurate I would be. I told you I'm horrible at geography. Horrible at it. Very bad. My geography teacher hated me because I would just memorize the maps long enough to pass the test.
Wow.
And then I'd forget everything.
We're definitely going back to New Orleans, not a moment too soon, because
hey,
Romaine needs to learn where it is.
Here's all I care about when we go to New Orleans. I want to go back to Cafe Du Monde for my beignets and my coffee with the powdered sugar in it, the buttery powdered sugar that tastes so yummy. That's a trick Derek taught me. And then I really want to go around the square there where they have all the amazing local artists. That was the thing I love the most about New Orleans, were the local artists. There's so many really cool and unique local artisans who live in New Orleans. And I would like to spend more time looking at their artwork because I found some of it to be really, really cool. In fact, last time I was there, I bought some. I have some hanging in my house right now that I got last time we were there, and I would like to go back and possibly buy more artwork from local artists.
Sad Clowns on Velvet?
No, I have a really funny picture in my bathroom, actually upstairs, of this, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of like, they're kind of like these funny little people that this one artist drew. I swear to God, he had to have been high the whole time. And he makes these cool little paintings of these funny little people. And the one that I have is naked. And then over its genital area, it has like a little sign that says censored. And this little character looks crazy, like totally crazy. And it's so funny, I had to buy it. I fell in love with it the second I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I need that painting in my house. And so I bought one because I had to have one. And I'd like to have more, so I'm hoping that I can find that artist again because I really loved his weird little artwork. So there you go. Maybe next time I'm there.
All right, well, people can make their own plans to join us on the road at dnrtravel.com. See all of our upcoming trips. New Orleans, Bermuda. We got a lot of great stuff coming up, and I hope people will join us. And I hope you will also stick around for Zach Zimmerman and his comedy and his book and his adventures around the world. Coming up next here on Derek and Romaine.
More Derek and Romaine next.
The Travel and Adventure Show is coming to a city near you. And in January, they will be in Chicago, Denver, and New York City. And Derek and Romaine will be there at the New York City Travel and Adventure Show. And we hope we see you there too.
You know, Derek, that the Travel and Adventure Show is entering its 20th year, and it's the only travel show series in the country where you will have an opportunity to find, plan, and book your next trip and talk directly to travel experts. And at the Chicago and New York shows, there will be an LGBTQ pavilion that is set up specifically to find safe and fun travel partners who are there providing new and exciting travel options that are specifically designed and geared for the LGBT community.
You can go to travelshows.com for tickets and information to find out about the Travel and Adventure Show that will be happening near you. We will be in New York City, but you can find a Travel and Adventure Show near you so you can check out all of the options. So as you are thinking about travel in 2024 and 2025 and beyond, you can get great ideas and great deals at the Travel and Adventure Show. And it is organized by locations around the world. So if you've always been curious about going to Europe or Africa or South America, you can find tour operators from around the world to give you more information and great ideas.
One of the other things I love about the Travel and Adventure Show is that they have 3 different stages set up. And on those stages, they have all kinds of experts that are talking things from packing tips to how to use reward points to specific destination presentations. Everything you want to know is going to be on one of those stages. And you're going to walk away from each show with knowledge that you just can't find anywhere else. So if you are ready to book the vacation of a lifetime, or you just want advice from the top travel experts in the world, then book your ticket to the Travel and Adventure Show today. Visit travelshows.com for a full list of cities and shows near you. And make sure you come to the New York City one if you're in the area, because that's where Derek and Romaine will be.
That's right. We'll see you there.
DNR 2.0.
Derek here along with Romaine, and joining us now from, who knows, all over the world, comedian and author Zach Zimmerman is with us. He is going to be making some upcoming stand-up comedy appearances on November 3rd at the New York Comedy Festival in Brooklyn and November 10th and 11th at the Flyover Comedy Festival in St. Louis, Missouri. You can check out all of his upcoming tour dates on his website, zach-zimmerman.com, and that's Zach with an H. And you can find him on Instagram. He is Z Zimmerman on Instagram, and on Twitter, ZZZZ. Zach, welcome back to the show.
Derek, thank you so much for having me. It's been too long. You never call.
I know.
He's the worst.
It has been a very long time, but you have been very busy traveling around the world and promoting your new book, which came out a few months ago. Is it hot in here, or am I suffering for all eternity for the sins I committed on earth, which is available obviously everywhere fine books are sold. So we're glad to have you since you have a lot to cover.
It's an honor to be here. It's also available wherever bad books are sold as well.
Good, bad, doesn't even matter. Got it.
But
yeah, I've been running around.
You have been running around book touring, right?
Book touring we did back in April. I did 7 cities. It was so fun to get to meet fans and have people read the books. There was one at the DC show afterwards. The books didn't show up, and so I just signed like people's hands and boobs and stuff. But it was fun. Travel is fun, but it can be quite exhausting. So I'm glad to be put for a few days at least. I've made Delta Gold status, so that's the big update in my life.
That's
leaned
pretty
in hard
fancy.
on Delta. I'm Sky Priority now. I don't know what it means, but I got it.
I've never understood what any of those things mean, honestly. They say it means something, but I've yet to see it.
I think it means you just spent a lot of money with the same person, thinking that maybe they'll give you like an extra drink or a back rub or something.
Well, you let me know how that works out for you.
I feel like the gays should just decide which airline has the hottest flight attendants and then just be loyal to them.
I like that idea.
It's reminding me of when the Abercrombie and Fitch CEO had his private jets and all these little twink flight attendants, and I think he got in trouble for that eventually.
Well, in the meantime, that sounds fine. Let's book that airline. That sounds great.
Twink Air.
Yeah, it's Twink
Air
Air.
Twink.
So, look, that's all they are. But Zach, how did you like book touring compared to comedy touring?
You know, I love book signing. After a comedy show, you know, you go out and you say hi to people and it's chaos and there's a big horde and, you know, you're hugging somebody or taking a picture with somebody and there's no sense of order. But a book tour, you sit at your little table like a king, like a little king on a throne, and everyone waits in a line to interact with you for 1 to 2 minutes, and you deliver a piece of wisdom or devastation that will affect them and their crop yields for the next 5 to 10 years. But I love signing a book too. It also gives you like a thing to look at, I guess. There's like a pageantry and an etiquette to signing a book versus the madness of like just talking to someone after a show or avoiding people after a show. It's sort of like go out there and sit. You get to write funny things. I've learned how to sign my name 500 different ways. And you feel a little, you know, a little more immortal, you know. A comedy show can be ephemeral, but a little book, people have a little souvenir for it. If, you know, one of these planes goes down that I'm on, there'll be some Zachs around the world. I'm a Horcrux inside of every book that I've given out. And so there's, I think 3 or 4 Horcruxes of me out there in the world now.
That's amazing. I hope nobody destroys any of them.
Fucking question. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it does.
I did burn one for promo though. I became friends with like a fire manipulator, and he set a book on fire, and I made a little promo video of it. So you won't be the first to have destroyed one of my books.
Oh, did that make your mom happy when one of your books was burnt?
She ate it up. She did. She was proud of me that I released it. She gave me a little shade I sent her a PDF. I didn't send her a physical copy, so she had to buy her own on Amazon. A number's a number. We need every sale we can.
But did she like it?
She said there were parts she didn't need to see. She said she skipped over the threesome chapter. And in hindsight, maybe the finer details of my sex life didn't need to be read by my mother. But I feel very lucky in that we've like collaborated on pieces before, and she's like aware of my art and that she's a character in it. And sort of, so we've dealt with, it wasn't like this is the first time she's seen herself represented in something I've made. And so she's a little thick-skinned about it. And at the end of the day, I think she loves the spotlight secretly. And so, and she's also said that what Satan means for evil, God can use for good. So maybe her and my book will reach the right person and transform their life for Christ.
Okay. Maybe.
Interesting. Okay.
I appreciate her trying to find a silver lining here.
Are you two in the same room right now, just like looking at each other?
We are not in the same room.
Okay,
we're not
good.
even in the same state. Frankly.
But we are looking at each other.
Okay. Through the power of queer psychic energy.
Oh yes.
Yes. We are pre-recording this, and we are recording it before you go to Gay Days, Anaheim, for your first trip ever to Disneyland. So I know that you
had the time of my life. I sucked off Mickey. I gave Goofy a HJ. I had the time of my life at Disneyland Gay Days.
Gay Days Disneyland is literally the best.
It's super fun.
I've never been. Have y'all been?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Many, many times. It's super duper fun. The parks they're just, you know, as you have seen, they're filled with gay people and families, and it really does bring the magic of Disney up a notch or two. I think, personally.
Is there anything I should prepare for? I've never even been to the theme park. So in my mind, I'm like, am I going to go on roller coasters? Am I going to wait in 10-hour lines? Am I going to eat a churro?
Yes.
Am I going to kiss someone
First
cute?
of all, eat a churro. Here is a good practice for people who have never been to the parks. Ride 2 rides, stop, eat a churro, drink a bottle of water. Ride 2 to 3 more rides, stop, eat a churro, drink a bottle of water, and maybe have a pee break. Drink a lot of water and eat a lot of churros. It really does make the experience so grand.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in eat a lot of churros and drink a lot of water. Yeah, because it's very warm and it will be hot and there's very sunny and you will be waiting in a lot of long lines, but you'll be there with like really fun, fabulous gay people. So it doesn't feel that bad.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing also is sunscreen and maybe like a hat, maybe some sort of
definitely sunscreen.
Because you're very pale, such as myself. I bring an umbrella, but you can wear a hat.
You know, I've seen people with umbrellas, and in the past I've scorned them or mocked them silently to myself. But I think I get it. I think I'm really starting to get it.
I at first was reluctant and shy about the umbrella thing, but then I was at Disneyland Paris and I had my umbrella and I was enjoying the park, and then there was a sudden, unexpected downpour. And people were scrambling, and I was like, sorry, French bitches, but I have an umbrella. Out of my way. And so it worked out. But now I'm no longer shy about it. It's like, I'm not going to get skin cancer just for because I don't want to get a dirty look here and there. Like, I'm going to get those looks anyway. So I might as well have my umbrella deployed, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, what are my odds of set my expectations in terms of the characters I will meet? In my mind, I'm going to go up and say hi to Ariel, and she's going to like give me a hug.
No.
That's not going to happen. No.
Let me tell you something. First of all, they keep all the characters in like little, like kind of in their own little spaces, kind of hidden away, and you have to stand in a line to meet characters.
Sometimes they walk around.
Sometimes, but not very often. And like you'll see them in parades and things like that. But you kind of have to search out the characters if you actually want to see them, and you're going to stand in a line to see them. Is it worth it? Not really. What you really want to do is find an experienced person who goes to the park a lot, who knows how to ride the rides in the right order, and then follow their lead. Don't question it, just follow it. That's the key, in my opinion.
I need to take a guide.
Yeah, you need to have someone who loves Disney, who goes all the time.
Yeah.
Are you busy?
I wish I could be there, but I will be elsewhere. Yeah. Otherwise, I would be there, and I would love it.
But I will tell you, there is usually a churro stand that is pretty close to the entrance of the Matterhorn. Auf Wiedersehen. So if you're jonesing for a churro, that's a good place to get one because it is not as high traffic and you don't have to wait as long. And then also the long wait will be for the Dole Whip at the Tiki Room. But if you like pineapple, that's good. Also, the gays will be watching who's consuming pineapple for later. So, keep that in mind as well. If you're cruising for a bruising.
Party scene?
Oh.
The evenings or the daytimes? Or
Well, if you go to the big dance parties, absolutely.
There's a dance party?
Yeah, there's the Kingdom Dance Party. Everybody knows that. Get these tickets.
Your grinder is going to be blowing up, and I know you've had many fun grinder adventures recently, based on social media. But you'll discover that the first 100 people on your grinder are within 10 feet of you at all times.
Aw, yeah. After you mentioned Disneyland Paris, I was just in Paris, and those gentlemen did not care for me. Someone had in their bio, it was like, I'm looking for someone to like. I want to swallow someone's saliva. And so I sent him 3 drool emojis because I thought that was like clever. And then he said something in French and I was like, ooh, what's this like sexy French phrase this person's used? I translated it and it was, don't drool on me, ugly.
Oh!
Wow.
The French do not play around.
No.
Wow.
You can't bounce back. That is the original insult. Ugly is like the middle school. There's no coming back from that. I was humbled.
Wow.
Yeah, you think New York City is hard, and it is hard, but France, it's even harder. But New York is a good primer.
Maybe Disney will be much more pleasant than that, and so I can enjoy. That's why there's magic there, because you're outside of the evil people stay away.
Right.
Yeah. Also, you'll be a visiting celebrity. That will definitely help you because people in Southern California, the gays, they love a celeb, and so that will help you.
Oh, true. I need to get. Hopefully, these shows go well, and then people can will be excited.
Yeah.
And
So you
show
just
me around
on Grindr,
Maybe
just
I
say
can
like,
skip the line.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. So on your Grindr, just say, "Oh, I'm overdosing on Dole Whip," and see what happens.
Wait, what's Dole Whip?
Well, it's like a pineapple concoction that they sell at the Tiki Room.
Wow.
It's
Gotcha.
only available there, and it's pineapple, and
It's delicious.
you can fill in the blanks for yourself as a homosexual.
Mm-hmm. It's quite yummy. I recommend it.
All right.
Go ahead, Derek.
We've made Romaine wait long enough. I know that the two of you are obsessed about The Ultimatum, a show I have not watched.
You are so missing out. All right. So let's talk, Zach. Which ultimatum is your favorite?
So I just this past week when I was abroad, I saw Ultimatum season 2 drop. And that was my entry point into the whole program. I'd avoided it in the past. I was like, this is not as interesting as Love is Blind. But I binged The Ultimatum season 2. Now I'm inside season 1. I'm like, this is hilarious and so messy.
And you haven't even watched the
people...
lesbian version yet, have you?
I'm building up the strength. I'm building up the courage. I'm so excited. It's so messy. It's just like, oh, you don't want to marry this person? Have a roommate for 3 weeks. That'll show you. Then you'll want to marry them.
Okay, so let's talk about The Ultimate, because I too just watched season 2, and season 1 and season 2 are straight couples, and I actually think of all 3 of the seasons, season 1, season 2, and the queer version, Queer Love, I think season 2 is the least exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah, because season 1. Some of those dudes were so insecure. They're like, I changed my mind. I want to marry you right now. They couldn't even handle getting into it. And I was like, ooh, girl. And I will just say the queer version is going to blow your fucking mind. And all I have to say is watch the reunion show until the last fucking second.
Oh, my God.
That's how I'm telling you right now. The queer version is so fucking good. I think it was my favorite of all of them. But let me ask you this. So you watch the show, and as you watch the show, it's these couples, they break up, and then they basically live with some other member of the other couple, like another couple, right? They date somebody else in a technical marriage. Although these straight people, they don't really invest that much. They're not sleeping with each other. They're not like making out with each other. They're not actually really, really investing in these other relationships, in my opinion. Whereas the queer girls, totally different sitch.
I agree. I was like, why aren't these people fucking? They're like not even kissing.
Not even holding hands. Like these straight people are so lame. But every time I watch the show, and it does not matter what season it is, when they get to the part where they reconnect with their main girlfriend or boyfriend, I just think these relationships are all horrible. None of these people should ever get engaged. I'm like, what the fuck are these people thinking? These relationships are so bad. I don't think anyone should ever get married on that show or get engaged. Your thoughts?
I probably agree. If it got to the point of going on a show like that, especially compared to, because the other show Nick Lachey and Vanessa host is Love is Blind, where you do find some like incredible love stories. But these are couples where something's off or they're unhappy. And yes, you can come back from that, but like going on a reality show to come back from that, going to like date other people, it's like what's the upside? Like it makes me feel like I would never go on a reality show. I'll go on like The Amazing Race or something, but the idea of going on like a dating reality show when you're already with someone and it's not going the way you want, I guess it's very vulnerable, or it's, unhinged.
I'm going
would
unhinged.
you two ever go on this? Derek and Romaine go on the ultimatum?
I would not go on the ultimatum, although I did discuss with my wife what version of this show I would consider going on, which would be, should we get divorced or not? With kind of similar concept, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of times when you're in a couple and you've been in a couple for a long time, you start thinking, ooh, is the grass greener on the other side? Should I really be in this relationship? Or would I have more fun? Would I be better off if I left this relationship for something else, right? I think lots of couples experience that. And I did ask my wife, I'm like, if I put you on a should we work on our relationship or get a divorce show, what would you do? She's like, well, first of all, I'd kill you. Which, fair enough. But I will say, when I watch this show, because my wife and I watch together, and sometimes our kid watches with us, but when we watch this show together, it does bring up a lot of relationship questions. I find myself pausing the show a lot and posing questions to my wife about whatever's happening on the screen, like whatever their big issue is. I'll be like, would you ever do that to me? Or how would you feel if I did that to you? Or what do you think about what's happening? I ask a lot of questions when we watch this show. So it is kind of a therapeutic thing for us, but most of the time we just are like, these couples are horrible.
And I remember this last season was very fun, and then there was some like turn where it was like, oh wait, this is actually really sad.
Oh, there were some really
but then
sad
it's fun
situations.
again.
Yeah, no.
And not to spoil, but it was kind of a bummer of an ending that nothing, there weren't any spectacular fireworks.
I'm telling you, I cannot wait for you to watch the Queer Love one. Oh my God, you're gonna die. You're gonna fucking die. You could ask Derek. I was obsessed with every single episode. I would come on the show and I would talk about all of it. And then when the reunion show happened, it blew my fucking mind. I could not believe what I was seeing. I will say, so the difference between the Queer Love version and the straight version is that it wasn't really hosted the way that the straight version is with Nick Lachey and Vanessa, but in a way I liked it more, but I also felt like the producers really missed some opportunities to address some major issues. You'll understand when you see it. And like they should have taken a pause from the show and actually said, okay, here's a major red flag issue that's come up because of our show, and what are we going to do as a show to be responsible about helping these individuals navigate this and heal from it? Because I feel like what's missing from these shows is therapy, right? Like every one of these relationships has some kind of problem. Sometimes it's a really broken person. Like in season 2, the couple that had been together for 7 years that had been high school sweethearts, that guy was broken. Like he had some real issues related to his upbringing. And I just kept thinking, why isn't the show putting him, like helping him get counseling? Like I would be interested in seeing that part of the process in these couples learning how to better connect with new people and with their partners and all that. And I just feel like it's a missed opportunity on this show.
Mm.
And I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I felt that way with Love is Blind too. We can see that these relationships are dysfunctional, but no one's like intervening. You almost want like a little talking head at the bottom of the screen, be like, in your relationship, consider doing X, Y, Z. But I guess the reality TV machine wants dysfunction, and I think people.
I think you can have dysfunction and therapy at the same time. Because I think they kind of go hand in hand. Like, you might have a totally dysfunctional, fucked up human being, as often is the case on some of these relationships. Like, one person is, like, way messed up. And then you might actually get to see that drama even more unfold as they're confronted by a therapist. Like, it should be a therapist who's not afraid to tell them the fucking truth. Like, ooh, girl, you're dramatic.
Have you watched this therapy show? I have not. I think it's on Showtime, where it's just actual couples therapy sessions with a great therapist. I think it's called Couples Therapy.
I have not watched it, but I want to watch it. So my wife and I did couples therapy. We've done it a little bit off and on for the last few years.
Yeah, we've had our own version of that here on the show for years.
And let me tell you, it can be spicy caliente up in those therapy sessions. Especially if you take it serious. It should be. Like, you got to go in there with the big issues and you got to do the work. At least that's my philosophy on therapy. Like, I don't go in and pussyfoot around. I'm like, here's the issue that I've got. Let's dig in. Like it's a big fucking juicy cake and I want to eat it all. Because I'm not there to waste my time. And my therapist thinks we're crazy, by the way. She's like, you might be the craziest patient I've ever had.
Is she wrong?
No.
Is she wrong?
She has told my wife and I that we are her favorite patients. And part of it is because I come in with crazy shit. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example.
Oh, God. Buckle up.
So one of the things that I went in with was my wife and I were wrestling around, and I tried to touch her butt, and my finger went near her butthole, and she freaked out. And then I came to therapy, and I was like, "Listen, we got to talk about a very serious issue." And our therapist Casey's like, "Okay," and I'm like, "My wife won't let me touch her butthole." And I said, and I know this sounds crazy, but I want to get to the root of why she won't let me touch her butthole.
Literally.
And I'm like, is it a trust issue? Like, what is it? And we spent an entire therapy session talking about my wife's butthole and why she wouldn't let me touch it.
What was the conclusion, if you're open to sharing?
Ultimately, it came down to Iris feeling insecure about her butthole. And she's like, it's dirty,
I can feel that.
And it's smelly, and I don't want anyone to touch it. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, that's what it ultimately came down to, her insecurity about her own body. But I wanted to know, was it a me issue?
It never is.
Yeah.
That's the therapy headline. Nothing is about the other person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, kind of.
We're all just like taking things personally that aren't personal. Nothing's personal. Let me say, I'll save you $100 every other week.
Now, let me ask you, Zach.
Therapists, do they charge double?
I don't know what they charge. I don't pay attention.
Therapist more expensive than an individual therapist?
I don't think so, because it's the same amount of time. It's not like they're, doing twice the time for a couple versus a single.
That's interesting. But the value they're giving, I'm Googling.
Yeah, you're getting double value. Maybe you should, if you want to save on your therapy, find somebody to pretend to be in a couple with. Then you can basically both do individual therapy for half price.
That's funny. That's a good deal. I like that.
Yeah, that's my strategy. That's how to save a buck in our difficult times.
Have to save $1.
That's funny.
That's some fucking cheapness right there. But you never know. It might work out. And maybe you'll get a better thing with the other person that you randomly collected off the street or Grindr. Maybe the Frenchie who doesn't want you to spit on him, maybe he could join you in couples therapy.
And then I got stood up in France too. France and I love the city, but its people do not like me.
Stood up?
On the Seine. I waited on the Seine for a picnic that never happened.
Oh, that's sad.
He didn't confirm, so I was taking a risk anyway, and it was my last night. But honestly, I enjoyed sitting alone. I don't know if that says a lot about me, but.
You just have a bottle of wine and a blanket by yourself?
Yeah, and a rat came over.
Oh, well, at least you weren't completely alone. Ratatouille came by.
Ratatouille came by.
You had a date with a
rat. I tried to talk some cheese. Yeah, a date with a rat. Well, if the other guy had shown up, that would have been true also.
Oh, no.
And another 3-way story for your next book.
Oh, man.
I need to send you a copy. I'm sorry if I haven't already.
Well, I feel like I should actually buy a copy and support your adventure. I mean, if you made your mother buy one, for crying out loud.
Save $1.
Well, Zach Zimmerman, I appreciate you being with us. It's been a lot of fun catching up. We should not wait so long in between chats. I feel like that's exactly the same thing we said last time, but this time I mean it.
And I can't wait to hear what you think of the Queer Love Ultimatum. Oh, my God.
Yes. And thank you for the Disneyland wisdom. I'll use it well.
All right. Good luck. Do not be afraid to bring your own umbrella.
Will do. Thank you both for having me. Love you to
You
death.
bet. Our thanks to Zach Zimmerman for joining us. Be sure to check him out on tour. He's got a bunch of stand-up dates coming up. November 3rd, he'll be at the New York Comedy Festival in Brooklyn, and November 10th and 11th, he will be in St. Louis, Missouri at the Flyover Comedy Festival. Get those tour dates and information and other future tour dates on his website, zach-zimmerman.com, and that's Z-A-C-H. And his book, Is It Hot in Here or Am I Suffering for All Eternity for the Sins I Committed on Earth? Spoiler alert, the answer is yes to both questions. But you can learn even more when you pick up a copy of the book everywhere fine and dirty books are sold. And be sure to follow Zach on Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, he is ZZ_ZZ, and on Instagram, he is Z Zimmerman. You're listening to Derek and Romaine. Well, there you have it. The end of another perfect episode of Derek and Romaine. And if you want more great fun, go to dnrstudios.com and subscribe to get our show every day. And don't forget, for DNR Plus subscribers, you can use the DNR Cast app for iPhone, available now in the App Store.